Yeah, I think so, yeah. So, good afternoon. My name is Sarah Rick. I'm the Outreach Coordinator and Undergrad Advisor for the Latin American, Caribbean, and Iberian Studies Program. Just want to make a couple of quick, brief announcements. Over there in the corner, we've got a bunch of materials from Witness for Peace that they've brought along if you want to pick up some items, as well as information about our program, the Latin American Studies Program. There's brochures about grant funding opportunities and our various academic programs. We're also collecting surveys to get a better feel for how people are responding to the program that we are putting on. So if you have a couple minutes and are willing to fill out a survey, there's a paper form, or you can go online to our website and fill one out that way. It's right on our homepage. And of course, we've got some snacks and coffee and tea in the back. So I am going to have, Elise and Maggie will probably do the more in-depth introduction of our speaker today, but I did want to, first of all, thank Witness for Peace for contacting Lassies and asking us if we wanted to be part of their speaking tour throughout the Midwest. Francisco Cerezo is here from Mexico. He's going to be giving a talk today called Drugs, Guns, and U.S. Policies in Mexico, Lessons from the Mexican Human Rights Organization, Comité Cerezo. And Maggie's going, and Elise both will be assisting with some translation. So thanks a lot for coming, guys.
Hi, thanks so much for having us here today. My name is Elise Roberts. I'm the regional organizer for a nonprofit called Witness for Peace. For those of you who are new to Witness for Peace, we were founded 30 years ago during the Contra War in Nicaragua, wanting U.S. citizens to see the effect of direct U.S. military intervention and military aid to the Contras. And since then, we have expanded. We currently have teams in Colombia, Nicaragua, Honduras, Cuba, and Mexico. Our mission is to support peace, justice, and sustainable economies by changing U.S. policies and corporate practices that lead to human rights violations, poverty, and oppression. So we're specifically focused on things policies that come out of the U.S. government and the way that U.S. corporations behave in Latin America and the negative effects of those policies and practices, and working towards change to make more peaceful and just policies. The way that we do that is we take delegations to Latin America. If you have a chance to grab some of the flyers back here, the light blue one is upcoming delegations. There's one that I think falls over the University of Wisconsin spring break. There's also one during early January. We take groups of U.S. citizens to be in solidarity with communities in Latin America and to document firsthand the effects of U.S. policies. We also do what we're doing here today and on this tour, where we bring in an expert, a partner from Latin America, to share their stories and speak to folks around the Midwest about the effects of U.S. policies and how they're affecting their communities. It's an honor to have Francisco Cerezo here with us from Comité Cerezo in Mexico City, and we'll be speaking all over Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri over the month of October. So we're about halfway through our tour here and really happy to be in Madison with you. This morning we were on WORT with Norm Stockwell, which will be on aired in a couple weeks, so you can follow up with that interview as well. The plan for today, I'm gonna hand it off to my colleague Maggie, who's gonna tell us, she works on the Mexico team for Witness for Peace, and she's gonna tell us a little bit about why we're focused on Mexico and the history of the relationships between the U.S. and Mexico, and why we're focused on those themes today. Then Francisco's presentation is about 35 or 40 minutes, so we'll have some time for questions at the end, and then some little bit of time to talk about what we can do to support Comité Cerezo and what we can do as folks living in the U.S. to push for more sustainable and just policies in our relationships with Mexico. So thanks again for having us, and I'll hand it off to Maggie.
All right, I'm going to keep it really brief because I want to leave the great majority of time for Francisco. But just to give you a little bit of framework, I don't think I need to convince you guys probably that U.S.-Mexican relations are very important, and that not only as neighbors, but the fact that a third of U.S. territory used to be Mexico, the fact that almost 10% of Mexicans live in the United States. There's 112 million Mexicans, and about 11 million live in the United States. So obviously there's close family relationships as well. But just as a Mexico team, to let you know what we focus on, we have mostly 3 themes that we really laser in on. One is immigration, and really looking at the roots of immigration and why so many Mexicans have to uproot themselves and leave their communities and families and risk their lives to come across the border. So we look at that, as particularly the effects of NAFTA, which on January 1st is going to be 20 years that it's been in effect. And we also look at food sovereignty issues. So also related, and they're all related, because NAFTA, for example, since NAFTA's been in effect, before NAFTA, there was no imports of corn to Mexico. Mexico's where corn was domesticated about 9,000 years ago, and it's very important to their whole culture and cuisine and cosmovision and all that stuff. And now about 30% of corn is imported. So the effect that that has on small farmers and on communities is something we really look at. And another thing we look at is the drug war, which Francisco is going to talk about today. And we really try to tease apart the rhetoric and the reality around the drug war. So without further ado, I'll pass it off to Francisco. How many of you speak Spanish? Okay, great. So we wanted to do it in both Spanish and English. He speaks great English and understands English quite well, but we wanted to make sure that you had the opportunity to hear it in Spanish as well. So I'll be interpreting, and if I am missing words, I'll just look out to you guys, and feel free to help me if I look desperately at you, because occasionally words don't come. So.
Bueno, pues, buenos días y muchas gracias por invitarnos.
Good morning, thank you so much for having me.
Iniciamos preguntando si saben qué es la iniciativa Mérida.
We start by asking if you know what the Merida Initiative is.
Por lo menos uno.
At least one.
O por lo menos saben qué era el Plan Colombia.
Oh, do you know at least what Plan Colombia was?
Ya son más. La iniciativa Mérida se inició en México.
The Merida Initiative was started in Mexico.
En el 2007.
In 2007.
Es un acuerdo económico
It's an economic agreement
entre el gobierno norteamericano y el Estado mexicano.
between the U.S. government and Mexican government.
Fundamentalmente es dinero,
Principally, it's money,
armas
weapons,
y entrenamiento militar,
and military training,
supuestamente para luchar contra los carteles de la droga.
supposedly to fight against drug cartels.
Donde vean este logo, perdón,
Where you see this logo,
son palabras del Departamento de Estado.
they're words of the U.S. State Department.
Y ellos dicen que este tratado
And they say that this agreement
lo que va a hacer es proteger los derechos humanos en México.
is to protect human rights in Mexico.
Y, por supuesto, luchar contra los cárteles de la droga.
And of course, to fight against the drug cartels.
Hay 4 pilares fundamentales de la iniciativa Mérida.
There are 4 fundamental pillars of the Merida Initiative,
Y se supone que el respeto a los derechos humanos
and supposedly the respect for human rights
entra dentro del pilar número 4.
falls under the 4th pillar.
En México,
In Mexico,
el Departamento de Estado dice
the U.S. State Department says
que principalmente va a ayudar al ejército
that principally they're going to help the Army
a respetar los derechos humanos.
to respect human rights.
Inclusive abrió cursos
And they even started courses
para enseñar lo que son los derechos humanos
to teach what human rights are
a los militares mexicanos, a la Policía Federal.
to the Mexican military personnel and federal police.
La realidad en México es diferente.
The reality in Mexico is different.
Gracias al dinero norteamericano,
Thanks to the U.S. money,
México se ha militarizado.
Mexican has become militarized.
¿Sí saben lo que es militarización?
Do you know what militarization is?
Llenar de soldados las calles,
Fill the streets with soldiers,
pero no nada más,
but not just this,
sino que implica el control político, social y económico,
but it means political, social, and economic control,
inclusive de las relaciones entre las comunidades y las personas
including relationships between communities and people
por parte del ejército.
by the Army.
Diríamos que es como una, le llaman dictadura blanda.
We could call it a soft dictatorship.
No hay un militar en la presidencia,
It's not that there's a military president,
pero quien controla realmente son los militares.
But the entity that really controls things are the military.
En México, gracias a esta militarización,
In Mexico, thanks to this militarization,
se elevaron los niveles de violaciones a derechos humanos.
rates of human rights abuses went up.
Según las cifras oficiales,
According to official figures,
tenemos más de 60,000 muertos
we have more than 60,000 dead
en los últimos 6 años,
in the last 6 years,
oficialmente más de 25,000 desaparecidos
and officially more than 25,000 disappeared,
y más de 150,000 personas desplazadas de manera forzosa.
and more than 150,000 people forcibly displaced.
Sin
forcibly
embargo,
displaced.
las cifras oficiales en México
However, the official figures in Mexico
usualmente tratan de cubrir la verdad.
usually try to cover up the truth.
Hay organizaciones que estiman
There are organizations that estimate
en más de 100 o 120,000 personas ejecutadas,
that there's been 100, okay?
100 o 120,000,
Okay, 100,000 or 120,000 people killed,
y más de 30 o 40,000 desaparecidos en México.
and more than 30 to 40,000 disappeared in Mexico.
Eh, El dinero de la iniciativa Mérida,
The money from the Merida Initiative,
lo que pueden ver es que del 1.6 billones de dólares que ha dado al gobierno mexicano,
what you can see that out of the $1.6 billion that's been given to the Mexican government,
el 99% es en armamentos y entrenamiento militar
99% is in weapons and military training,
y el 1% para fortalecer los derechos humanos en
and
México.
1% to strengthen human rights in Mexico.
Incluso en el año 2009 la cantidad de dinero
And in the year 2009, the amount of money
fueron solo 2 millones de dólares,
was only $2 million,
que el Estado norteamericano dice que fue para dar cursos
which the U.S. government says was to give courses
a los militares para que
to military personnel so that they
protegieran los derechos humanos de los ciudadanos.
would protect human rights of citizens.
También dieron tecnología militar,
They also gave military technology,
helicópteros Black Hawk,
Black Hawk helicopters,
que supuestamente eran para mejorar
that supposedly were to improve
el combate en contra de los cárteles de la droga en México.
the combats against against the drug cartels in Mexico.
Sin embargo, la realidad es diferente.
However, the reality is different.
Esta foto fue tomada el mes pasado
This photo was taken last month,
y pueden ver los helicópteros de la iniciativa Mérida
and you can see the helicopters from the Merida Initiative
siendo utilizados para vigilar a los manifestantes,
being used to practice surveillance on the protesters.
en este caso maestros en la Ciudad de México,
In this case, they were teachers in Mexico City,
y gracias a esa vigilancia
and thanks to this surveillance,
vino una represión bastante violenta en contra de ellos.
then afterwards there was a repression, a serious repression afterwards against them.
La iniciativa Mérida dice que va a entrenar
The Merida Initiative says that they're going to train
militares y policías federales
military personnel and federal police
en derechos humanos.
in human rights.
La foto nos muestra
This photo demonstrates
la forma en que la policía mexicana detiene usualmente a los manifestantes.
the way in which the Mexican police detain protesters.
Son detenidos, golpeados
They're detained and beat up.
y en muchos casos dejados libres
In many cases, they're let go,
para que no haya ninguna prueba
so that there's no proof
de que la policía fue la que los golpeó.
that it was the police who beat them up.
Los que no son tan golpeados
Those who aren't as beat up
usualmente son enviados a prisión.
usually are sent to prison.
En la última represión, el 2 de octubre,
In the last repression on October 2nd,
una de las manifestaciones más grandes en la Ciudad de México,
one of the biggest protests in Mexico City,
109 personas fueron detenidas de esa manera.
190 people were detained this way.
También la iniciativa Mérida
The Merida Initiative also
sí. Íbamos a ver 2 videos de 20 segundos,
we were going to see 2 videos of about 20 seconds long,
pero la verdad es que no se ven.
but the truth is that you can't see them.
Lo que íbamos a ver es una detención
What we were going to see was a detention
desde al nivel del del suelo.
from the ground.
Los periodistas y los defensores de derechos humanos
Journalists and human rights defenders,
tratamos de documentar el trato que se le da
we try to document the treatment that they receive,
a las personas que son detenidas.
the people that are arrested.
Y parte del entrenamiento en materia de derechos humanos que han recibido
And part of the training in human rights that they've received
es dar órdenes para evitar que podamos fotografiar.
is that they give orders that to try to prevent us from being able to photograph.
Usualmente los policías levantan el escudo
Usually the police lift their shields
para que no podamos tomar fotografías.
so that we can't take pictures.
Y en las últimas represiones
And during the last repression,
también han detenido a la gente que está fotografiando y filmando.
they also detained people who were filming or photographing.
En el otro video que íbamos a ver
In the other video that we were going to see,
era la misma detención, pero
it was the same arrest,
vista
but
desde arriba,
from a film from above,
donde se ve cómo los policías
and you can see how the police
detienen a la persona,
detain the person.
la llevan a un lugar medio escondido,
They take him to a half-hidden place.
hacen un semicírculo para proteger que no los vean
They make a semicircle around him so that nobody can see,
y se suben sobre la persona detenida
and they get on top of him
y lo empiezan a patear.
and they start to kick him.
Y después, para que no podamos reconocer quién es esa persona,
And afterwards, so that we can't recognize who the person is,
usualmente te ponen tu propia camiseta sobre la cabeza.
usually they put your own T-shirt over your head.
Esta fue una represión, la represión del 10 de junio, hace 2 meses,
This was
no, 4 meses.
repression on June 10th, which was 4 months ago.
Sí saben que es Amnistía Internacional.
Do you know what Amnesty International is?
Lo que dice Amnistía Internacional es que los miembros del Ejército,
What Amnesty International says is that the members of the Army,
de la Marina y de la Policía Federal
the Navy, and the federal police
son los responsables del incremento de las violaciones a derechos humanos.
are responsible for the growth of human rights violations, the increase in human rights violations.
En este contexto de la guerra contra las drogas,
In this context of the war on drugs,
pero muchas de estas violaciones se hacen
but many of these human rights violations are committed
en contubernio con el crimen organizado.
in collusion with organized crime.
Y si ustedes ven las cifras de quejas,
And if you can see the figures of complaints,
hace 10 años tendríamos 10 o 15 quejas en contra del ejército
10 years ago there were about 10 or 15 complaints against the Army
por violaciones a derechos humanos.
for human rights violations.
El año pasado tuvimos 1921
Last year there were 1,921
contra el ejército
against the Army,
y 802 contra la Policía Federal.
the 802 against the federal police.
En México la militarización
In Mexico, militarization
hizo que la Policía Federal, que supuestamente es civil,
caused the federal police, which is supposedly civilian,
está conformada por militares
it's now made up of military personnel,
comisionados en la Policía Federal.
uh, okay, they're commissioned by the federal police.
Y en México no hay información sobre las sanciones
And in Mexico, there's no information about sanctions
y las investigaciones en contra de los militares
and investigations against military personnel
o policías que han sido detenidos
or police that have about detained.
y sentenciados por violaciones a derechos humanos.
So none of them have been detained or sanctioned or held accountable for violations of human rights.
Creemos que todavía no hay ninguno.
We think there's still none.
En México la impunidad
In Mexico, impunity,
es el 99%
the impunity rate is 99%
en todo tipo de delitos.
in all types of crime.
En violaciones a derechos humanos
In human rights violations,
casi alcanzamos el 100%.
it's almost at 100%,
Es decir, nunca veremos un policía encerrado
which is to say that we never see policemen
en la
arrested
cárcel por haber golpeado a algún manifestante.
for having beat up a protester.
Una de las cosas que se me olvidaba
Something that I forgot
es que la iniciativa Mérida dice
The Merida Initiative says
que ellos han cooperado
that they've cooperated
para que exista un mecanismo de protección a defensores en México.
in order to create a mechanism to protect human rights defenders in Mexico.
La realidad es que nosotros, los miembros de derechos humanos en México,
The reality is that it was us, who are members of human rights organizations in Mexico,
escribimos e impulsamos esa ley.
who wrote and pushed for this law.
Una ley, un mecanismo
It's a law or a mechanism
que, aunque ya está aprobado
which, even though it has been approved,
y que tiene dinero de la iniciativa Mérida,
it's been passed and it has money from the Merida Initiative,
no ha servido para nada.
it's been useless.
En días recientes,
Recently,
algunos defensores con protección especial
a few days ago, human rights defenders who had protective measures
fueron atacados en la puerta de su casa.
were attacked in the door of their own home.
En México, el Departamento de Estado dice que toma muy en serio
The U.S. Department of State says that they take very seriously
toda denuncia de violaciones a derechos humanos.
all complaints of human rights violations.
Podemos ver en la fotografía a la policía
We can see in this photo the police
disparando balas de goma
shooting rubber bullets
directamente al cuerpo, a la cabeza de la gente.
directly to the bodies and the heads of people.
En la última, bueno, en una manifestación,
During a protest,
cuando la toma de protesta del nuevo presidente, el 1 de diciembre,
during the protests when the new president was taking oath of office,
un activista le dispararon en la cabeza con una bala de goma
an activist was shot in the head with a rubber bullet,
y ahora está en coma.
and he's still in a coma.
Un compañero suyo logró filmar el hecho
And one of his friends was able to film the event,
y días antes de que fuera a declarar ante la justicia,
and a few days before he was going to testify in court,
fue desaparecido.
he was disappeared.
Si no hay evidencia, si no hay testimonios,
There's no evidence and there's no testimonies,
la impunidad se mantiene.
Impunity prevails.
Y si ningún policía es acusado de este tipo de hechos,
And if no police member is accused of these crimes,
seguramente va a volverlo a hacer.
he's surely going to keep doing it.
Aunque la iniciativa Mérida y el gobierno de Estados Unidos
Even though the Merida Initiative and the U.S. government
dice que se preocupa mucho por los derechos humanos,
says that they're very concerned about human rights,
la realidad es que el dinero que está atado
the reality is that the money that is tied
a un examen de derechos humanos
to conditions on human rights
que hace el gobierno estadounidense al mexicano
that the U.S. imposes on the Mexican government,
y que supuestamente detiene el dinero hacia México,
and supposedly they hold on to the money that would go to Mexico,
solo un 15%.
just 15%.
El Congreso norteamericano
The U.S. Congress
recomendó que se diera el dinero
recommended that this money be released,
a pesar de que México había reprobado este examen.
in spite of the fact that Mexico had failed to meet these conditions.
Creemos que el objetivo también es alimentar ese mercado de armas.
We think that the objective is to support the business of arms.
El 90% de las armas ilegales en México
90% of the illegal arms in Mexico
vienen de Estados Unidos
come from the U.S.,
y el 90% de las armas legales
and 90% of the legal arms
son dados a través de la iniciativa Mérida al
Are
gobierno
given-
mexicano.
are given through the Merida Initiative to the Mexican government.
Estados Unidos realiza un informe
The U.S. releases a report
cada año sobre violaciones a derechos humanos en el mundo.
each year about human rights violations throughout the world.
Cuando quiere presionar al gobierno mexicano,
When they want to pressure the Mexican government,
las cifras de las organizaciones de derechos humanos
the statistics from the civil society organizations
acerca de los casos de violaciones a derechos humanos
regarding cases of human rights violations
aparecen en estos reportes.
appears in these reports.
En este reporte que es del año pasado, del 2012,
This report, which is from last year, from 2012,
somos una fuente de los casos de violaciones a derechos humanos.
we were a source about cases of human rights violations.
Entre 2008 y 2011,
Between 2008 and 2011,
solo documentamos 326 casos de violaciones a derechos humanos.
we documented 326 cases of human rights violations.
Cada año intentamos hacer un informe sobre esta situación.
Each year, we try to put out a report about this situation.
El año pasado, nada más de junio del 2012 a mayo del 2013 de este año,
Last year, between June in 2012 and May 2013,
logramos documentar 499 violaciones a derechos humanos,
we documented 499 human rights violations,
350 de ellas detenciones arbitrarias,
350 arbitrary detentions,
124 agresiones,
124 aggressions,
que son amenazas de muerte,
which are death threats,
hostigamiento,
harassment,
vigilancia ilegal
illegal surveillance
contra defensores de derechos humanos.
against human rights defenders.
14 defensores fueron desaparecidos,
14 human rights defenders were disappeared,
11 fueron ejecutados de manera extrajudicial.
11 were killed extrajudicially.
Y ustedes pueden ver los estados que más casos han tenido.
And you can see the states that have had the most cases.
¿Sí reconocen los estados?
Do you know what state this what state they are?
Chiapas, Oaxaca, Guerrero, Michoacán, Estado de México, Jalisco. ¿Por qué en esos estados hay,
No problem.
¿por qué en esos estados hay más casos?
Why are there more cases in these states?
Uno, porque por ahí pasan las drogas hacia Estados Unidos.
One, because this is where the drugs pass to get to the United States.
Y la militarización permite el control de ese paso.
And the militarization allows for control of these areas.
Y dos, porque las grandes empresas
And also because the corporations
necesitan el territorio para poder poner sus minas, por ejemplo.
need the territory, need the land to be able to put their mines, for example.
En México el 50% de todo el territorio
In Mexico, 50% of all the territory
está ya concesionado a las mineras.
has been given in concessions to mining companies.
Y para poder poner una mina,
And in order to be able to put a mine,
tienen que quitar a la gente que habite en ese territorio.
they have to get rid of the people that live in that area.
En México el componente paramilitar
In Mexico, the paramilitary